Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is April, and in today's video I'm going to show you guys how you can use your Cricut to customize an Easter basket. I've had a lot of requests lately to do a Cricut craft, and I thought this one would be perfect with Easter being right around the corner. This is a really easy, beginner-friendly craft that you guys can do. Also, if you're looking for Easter baskets and if you're stateside, I would highly recommend checking out Dollar Tree, Hobby Lobby, Five and Below, Michael's, places like that. If you're unaware, I recently moved to Japan, so I cannot get access to those kind of places because none of them will ship out to military FPOs, which is pretty sad, but I still have good old Amazon that will ship out here. So I was able to order this really cute Easter basket from Amazon, and I'm going to customize it today. I also last year used Easter baskets from Dollar Tree, and I will try to insert a picture here to show you what those look like, but if I can't, you can check out my Instagram, and I have pictures of those from last year. But if you guys are interested in learning how to customize an Easter basket and how to put a name on the Easter basket, keep watching. So for this Easter basket, I'm thinking about putting the name like right here below the bunny's little neck and above the tail. So I'm going to go ahead and take some measuring tape, and I'm going to measure out how big I want my decal to be, or my iron-on actually. So I think I want it to be about 5 inches and maybe no more than 2 inches long. So then we're going to go over here to the computer, and we are going to go ahead and get into Cricut Design Space and make the decal. I have opened up Cricut Design Space, and I apologize, I am filming this on my phone. I tried to do the cool like screen record on my Mac thing, and my headphones was not picking up the voice, so it was just a whole mess. So we're just going to do it this way, and since this is a really quick and easy tutorial, I feel like this would be okay. So right here is the text box. We're going to click on that. And then we are going to write the name in. So my son's name is Alex. So I'm going to go ahead and type that in. And now I don't really like this font, so I'm going to go up here to where it says font, and I'm going to change the font. I pay for Cricut Design Space. I think it's like $9.99 a month, but I also download fonts from designbundles.net. It's one of my favorite places to download fonts because they all come with commercial licensing. So you definitely want a commercial license if you plan to resell. If you plan just to make this for yourself like I am, you don't need one. But if you ever want to resell your items, make sure you have a commercial licensing. So the font that I want to use is called Kid Station. Again, this is from designbundles.net. It's a really fun, really cute little font. So that's the one I'm going to use. And now I click that, so it changed the font. And if you remember, we measured the area that we wanted his name to be in, and I wanted it to be no bigger than 5 inches long or wide. So we're going to go ahead and adjust that to 5 inches. And you can also go up here. I know it's quite hard to see, but like this little area right here. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit for you guys. And we can go right here and type in 5 as well. So you don't have to do it the way I did that. You can also come up here and change the width to 5. And then that automatically changed it to about 2 inches, which is what I want. Now you can also unlock this and like play around with it and make it as big or crazy or as wide as you want. But I definitely want mine to be that 5 inches long, or 5 inches in width and about 2 inches long or tall. So that's what I'm going to do right there. And now we can go over here because that's the word that we want. It's not cursive or anything, so this is really easy. When you use print, you don't have to like make your letters attach or anything like that. But when you use cursive font, you need to make your letters attach. So that'll be for another tutorial, but we're keeping this really easy. So now that we have the name that we want, we're going to go over here and go to Make It and click that. Okay, now that we have my son's name right here, I wanted to tell you guys one thing too. Whenever you're using HTV, so that's what we're going to use because we're going to use iron-on to put it onto the Easter basket, you need to also go over here to this little button right here and press mirror. Since you're ironing this on, it needs to be backwards, if that makes sense. I know it's confusing at first because if you use regular permanent vinyl or removable vinyl on like wood signs or coffee mugs or whatnot, you don't have to mirror it. But if you use anything that you're going to iron onto, like a shirt, an Easter basket, a towel, you need to always mirror your image. So we went ahead and pressed mirror, and now his name is backwards. So then we're going to go over here to continue, It's going to find my machine, and I have the Cricut Explorer Air 2. I usually leave mine plugged in. You can use the Bluetooth if you want, but for me, it just works better if I plug it in. And my son has messed with the buttons, so I'm going to go ahead. I always like to leave my little dial right here at custom, but you can have it set on iron on or whatnot, but I leave mine on custom so that I can go ahead and click the kind of vinyl I have. So I'm going to click everyday iron on. I'm going to do default pressure, and then I will go ahead and load my vinyl up and show you guys what we need to do next. Okay, now it's time to go ahead and put the vinyl onto our Cricut mat. So this is HTV iron-on vinyl. And what you're going to want to do when you use HTV is always put the shiny side down, like facing down on your mat. So as you can see, this back side is like very matte color, no shine or whatnot. I mean, and it's kind of hard to tell because my lamp is right there, but you see it's not as glossy as this side. So you're always going to want to put the glossy, shiny side face down onto your mat. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this on my mat. So I'm going to go ahead and line it up like so. Hope you guys can see this. I don't know if I'm out of frame. And then I actually have, I don't know where it is. Oh, here it is. It's a little X-Acto knife that I've got. I ordered it from Amazon, I think, or maybe I got it at Hobby Lobby before I moved. But I'm going to take that and I'm going to go ahead and trim my vinyl, but you definitely could just use scissors and cut your vinyl before you stick it on there, whatever you like to do. But I know that mine is no taller than 2, but I always like to give myself a little extra. So I'm going to cut it right here at the 3-inch line. And then remember, my decal is about 5 inches wide, so I'm going to go up to the 6-inch mark right here. It can be a little uneven too. And then to flip it, or to pull the extra vinyl off, I always flip my mat over. And you're going to pull your mat away from your vinyl. And it's going to leave the little piece that you just cut out with your X-Acto knife on there. So you just pull your mat away, and that keeps your vinyl from curling. So now I have that on here. And also what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little burnishing tool, and I'm just going to make sure my vinyl is nice and pressed on. You can also use one of these little rollers. I know Cricut has some, but this is like an Amazon brand, and you can roll it too. Or you can actually just use a credit card as well. So now that we have that all set, we're going to go ahead and load it into our Cricut machine. Okay, now we're cutting it. I meant to record this before I pressed the C button, but you just press this little arrow, you feed your mat in, and then you press the C to go ahead and cut it. And once it's all done cutting, you just press the little arrow key and it takes it out of the machine. And now we can go ahead and weed it. Now that we have our vinyl cut out, it's time to go ahead and weed our image. So I'm just going to take my weeding tool right here, and I'm just going to go up to the corner. And I'm just going to pull the vinyl off. You're going to want to leave all the letters on your HTV transfer tape. If I didn't explain this well, I'm sorry. It's my first time doing this Cricut tutorial, but when you use HTV, it automatically comes with a carrier sheet, which is amazing, a transfer sheet, because if you use regular permanent vinyl, you know, you have to add your own transfer sheet. So this already comes with that. So I'm just weeding on the mat, which makes it a little bit easier. Sometimes I do this, sometimes I don't, but it's all personal preference. So I'm just pulling away the excess vinyl, and then I'm now going to go in here. It's kind of hard to see because it's dark. It's getting dark, but I'm going to go ahead and pick out the inside of the letter like so. And now remember what we're going to do is we're going to flip it underneath it, or flip it upside down, and go ahead and pull the vinyl off this way. So we're going to pull the mat away from the vinyl instead of pulling the vinyl off. So I'm just going to pull the mat away. And now we have our little decal that we can iron on. So we're going to go ahead and iron this on now. Okay, now I have heated up my little Cricut mini press. I love this thing. It's so cool. I got it, I want to say Amazon. I think I get everything from Amazon. I got it last year. I think it was like 50 bucks, but sometimes they have them on sale on Amazon or Hobby Lobby, but this thing is small but mighty, just like the box says. And that's what I'm going to use to iron on the decal. So now I'm just going to take my measuring tape just one more time to make sure I have the placement right. And since this is for my son, I'm not going to be too particular, but if you were going to resell this, I would make sure you place your placement right on. So I think that looks pretty good. So here's my little decal, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it in half, just so I can find the center, and it's not going to mess up the decal. And as you can see, I'm not folding all the way down, I'm just folding the areas that don't have any text on them. And it kind of gives me a little line right there. So I'm just going to line it up right down the middle where I think that looks pretty good. I'm actually going to trim a little bit off the edge of the bottom here because it's a little, the transfer tape is a little long. So that looks pretty good. Okay, so now you can see I just stuck it right on there. Now this next step is optional. I like to use Teflon sheets or parchment paper, like the Reynolds parchment paper you get at the grocery store, just to put it over here before I iron on. It just gives it an extra layer of protection, but that is totally optional. So now I'm just going to take my iron and put it on there. Okay, so I probably ironed it for about like a minute or so. You just want to keep an eye on it and keep checking it. You can also use your household iron for this, but I just went over it probably for like, I would say anywhere between 30 seconds to a minute. You just test your iron and see how it works out for you. Every iron is different. So now I'm just going to check, and I know it's kind of hard to see, but you're going to want to see those little tiny bubbles. And if you see those bubbles, that means your vinyl stuck pretty well. So there's one little piece right down here that it didn't stick that great. And I think it's just because I should have probably used my Cricut. There's like a mat that you can put underneath your items, and I should have just used that, but I didn't. So I'm just going to press that a little bit more. Sorry, my son is in there with his dad, and he's upset because he wants to be out here, but I'm almost done. So there you go. We just pull that off. And there is the little decal. I think that turned out great. I need to fix that little spot right there. And if you ever have an issue where it's not sticking like that, you just put the transfer tape back down, and we're just going to press it a little bit longer, just a few more seconds. Okay. And then just lift up the transfer tape, and there you go. So I think that looks super cute. I love how this turned out. Let me see if I can open it up. And you can use any color vinyl. I just used black, but you could totally use whatever color you have. I love the way this turned out, and this is going to be perfect. I didn't put the year on it, but you could totally add the year if you want. But I think this is going to be great for Easter. Comment down below and let me know if you guys like these Cricut crafts and what you're wanting next for me. Like I said, I don't live near a Dollar Tree anymore. Dollar Tree does not ship out here either. So I won't be able to do much Dollar Tree crafts, but maybe I can do Daiso crafts. That's like the Dollar Tree over here in Japan, or the 100-yen store. It's like everything's pretty much between $1 at Daiso to $5. So like 100 yen to 500 yen. So it's a really cool store. Maybe I can do some crafts from there. Cherry blossoms are starting to come into season right now, so maybe I could do something with cherry blossoms. You guys just let me know. I do still have some of my wreath supplies left over from Dollar Tree, so I could make a wreath too. I'm just throwing out all these ideas. But comment down below, let me know that you guys enjoyed this type of video. I would love if you did enjoy it to hit that thumbs up button. And if you want to know when I upload new videos, just hit that bell notification. It'll let you know every time I upload a video. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.